Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Ajett Conversation. Today, this is a very special episode because we have a very special guest. He produces the music for one of my favorite cartoons on Cartoon Network right now by the name of Clarence. Please welcome Simon Panrucker.
Yay! Hi everyone.
Now, Simon, as usual, we have about 10 questions, including some bonus questions that usually pop up throughout the conversation, but we also have a couple of YouTuber questions thanks to my homie at Democracy.
Sure.
But to start things off, who are you and where are you from?
My name is Simon Panrucker, and I live in Bristol in the United Kingdom.
Okay, and
Do you want more information than that? I can go.
I mean,
more
you can go further.
Okay. So I currently work writing songs for Cartoon Network and their show Clarence, like you said. I've been doing that for about the last 4 years, and on top of that, I've been working on pilots for other animation studios like Titmouse Incorporated, and did a thing for Nickelodeon, and another pilot for Cartoon Network that will be coming out at some point, I think. So yeah, I've been playing around with that, and at the same time, I make a lot of music for myself and put videos on YouTube and things like that. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. And I do a lot of live performing as well. I do kind of comedy rap stuff and improvised music.
And like you, like we were talking about your radio sampling videos too. Like I thought those were pretty interesting, especially like with what you use. But we'll get into that part later.
Yeah, sure.
But since you're like a producer for like TV shows and stuff, the question number 2 is what genre or genres of choice do you prefer to produce?
To produce. Well, the thing with working on Clarence is the kind of references that they give me. The show is so big in, all of the different characters have different types of music that they like, and because it's set in a kind of real world, everything that's on the radio is kind of whatever music might be playing in that place. So I get asked to produce all kinds of types of music, and
like it definitely depends on like the setting of the episode or like what's on the character's mind or
yeah, absolutely. Other than other cartoon shows which might have a really specific musical style, this one is really broad. So I get asked to do all kinds of stuff, and it's been incredible just because, whereas I would have been quite limited in what I produce through what I like, which is more kind of electronic stuff I tend to listen to, and hip hop and things like that. It's kind of broadened my horizons in that sense. Like I listen to, through Clarence, I have to listen to all types of stuff like from the 80s and more like rock bands and things like that. So I don't know, I've got loads of enjoyment from producing all kinds of types of music through Clarence. So
yeah, and like
personally for my own music, I prefer making like electronic stuff and hip hop based things, but through Clarence I love all the challenges they put to me.
right. And like when I had made my remix for you, like it was really weird seeing not only like Spencer Rothbell like retweeted and like it, because like it was basically saying that like basically Clarence himself likes my song. So like that because like that was how good I felt, because Clarence is like a very like happy, outgoing character, so he doesn't really dislike a lot of things. So it's just like, what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah, Spencer's a great guy. It's really fun. I live in the UK, so I don't get to see those guys very much, but I went over a couple of times and hung out with them, and yeah, he's a really, really nice guy to hang out with. Lots of fun. He's very silly.
I imagine.
Yeah.
So question number 3 is what got you into production and DJing? Well, not DJing, because like, or live performing, could say.
Yeah, sure. Well, I sort of grew up in a musical household. My mum was a piano teacher, and my sister and brother would play piano a lot, and my sister played violin. So I was kind of surrounded by music all the time. And then I started learning piano and saxophone, and then I did some work experience at like this music technology shop, and started playing with like music technology and software. Or even before that, I started on this program called RaveEJ, and like the EJ series, which you should Google and have a look, because they were like really basic like loops that you just build up and create your own.
Yeah,
song.
we've all had that start at some point.
Yeah.
Like I used to, like back when I first started, before I was even Ajett, I used to like play with a bunch of loops on GarageBand, but then that got really boring, so I eventually like upgraded to FL Studio, and now I'm starting like making my own sounds, you know?
Cool, yeah. So it's that kind of like, I think it's really useful having that start though with someone else's loops, so that you can experiment with arrangement and, you know, okay, and then at this point maybe if I drop the melody out and just have the beats, and you start to get a sense of like what's satisfying with music. So yeah, so I started there, and then got better and better software, and then went to university to study music tech, and yeah, from there I've just been like always doing it. It's only really in the last kind of 4 or 5 years that through Clarence, that I've been doing it like as a full-time job.
Like that always feels good to like finally be able to do what you love and get paid to do it at the same time. Like,
oh man, yeah, it's really good. And plus, like, you know, Clarence is so much fun. It's never a job to write music for. It's just like, oh man, this week I get to make some crazy, like, I don't know, some mariachi band music.
Like, yeah, like every week you're just like testing like you're just challenging yourself, and like it's always some weird requests. And like even as a DJ, like I'm used to getting weird requests and stuff, and
yeah,
like, but at the same time it's just like it feels really good to like finally get paid to do what you love, even though like you're on a much bigger scale than me because you're working on TV shows, but I'm still at like the local like standpoint.
Yeah, but having your like paid DJ gigs, you feel a real sense of like, yeah, this is, people appreciate this and value it.
Yeah. But at the same time, it does get kind of hard because a lot of people assume that I'm just like someone that wants to DJ a wedding or a kid's birthday party, where I'm more of into like I want to perform at like frickin' Tomorrowland or Ultra somewhere. Like where like that's like I'm more of that style of DJ where like I want to expose people to new sounds rather than just get like basically be background noise to someone, you know?
Yeah. But it's all about that, you know, putting the work in at the ground level before you can get to that point.
Exactly.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Question number 4 is, who and what inspires you to DJ and produce?
Production wise, I don't know, like growing up I was really inspired by this guy called Luke Vibert, who's also known as Wagon Christ. I would recommend you listen to some of his music. It's really like playful, kind of hip-hoppy stuff, but quite weird and kitsch. And yeah, his stuff was a real inspiration to me. So yeah, that was like my main influence growing up. And these days, I take inspiration, like I say, through Clarence. Like whatever's put in front of me, I learn so much from just kind of mimicking a production style. So now it's like everything. I don't know, but I love kind of. Who's that producer? I love this guy called Saruda, who makes like really nasty electronic stuff at the moment. He's one that pops into my head, but otherwise, it's everything, man.
Yeah, it's there's definitely a lot to be inspired by, and for example, like I'm inspired by you, I'm inspired by Skrillex, I'm inspired by like so many people, and like I'm inspired by like my own drive to get where I want to be musically, and I feel like this podcast definitely helps because like I not only get to like interview a bunch of interesting people, but I like get to hear advice from like of like various backgrounds on like how do I improve myself and like how do I get to where the people I'm interviewing are. Like
yeah.
But this is
Is your goal to produce more more stuff of your own and play that in front of crowds?
Yes, and yeah, I'm really like into, like I said, I'm really into the ultra music music festival, or like Tomorrowland, and like again the Skrillex scene, because like Skrillex was the guy that really inspired me and influenced me to actually start making music, because like I had discovered dubstep in like ninth grade, and I didn't know what it was, but I was really into it. And then my mentor, who's like my mentor now, he recommended Skrillex to me, and like then I just became obsessed. And that, like, then 10th grade hit, and my school got a DJ club, and it was shocking because because I live in more of like the urban area where the rap music is pretty dominant. So it was shocking to find a teacher that was really into EDM, because the sign said, "Do you want to be the next Skrillex?" And like at first I laughed at it, and then I realized like I had ran to the room after school, and like I told the teacher, "Yes, I want to be the next Skrillex." Like and like since then, like it was like since then, like I pretty much became the president of the club before I graduated, and it went from like 20 people to like 2 people, and that's me and my current apprentice Ty, the producer. But yeah, it's been a really wild ride.
It's down to like the hardcore 2.
Yeah.
That's good, man. You gotta stay determined.
Most definitely. But here's our very first YouTuber comment question. I don't even know how to pronounce, well, not pronounce, but like just describe that type of thing. But this one is from JCBK90, and his question is, how did you get the job?
I've been making stuff and putting it out on the internet for a long time. Like probably since I was 15, and I'm 31. So like 16 years I've been putting things on the internet. And I was one of the early people on Vimeo when that first started, and like making videos on there and kind of musical songs. And there was this one video I put out called "Looping Around the House." And you can, if you Google that, you can find it. And it's basically me. I strapped a camera to my forehead, and like went around my parents' house, hitting things and making the rhythm and looping it up till it made a track. And that kind of was quite popular, and it had like a minor viral success. And yeah, through that, later on I was like making a podcast with a friend of mine, and someone emailed in called Skylar. And I got chatting with him and realised he was working on Adventure Time at the time, and just kind of stayed friends with him because he seemed like a fun guy. And yeah, soon he got his own show, which was Clarence. And I just basically at that time was like feeling kind of, oh man, I should really try and do more with my music, because I'm not really doing anything. I feel a bit frustrated. So I just asked him, can I pitch to write the music? And so I did like a where they send me a scene, and Skylar really like fought for me to have a go, because he liked my stuff so much. So Skylar had found me through that Looping Around the House video, and then emailed in later. Yeah, so I did like a little test where I did the music for a scene, and it was that scene in the pilot with the piñata. So as well as doing the kind of the score for the scene, like the background music, I was like, the thing is, I think I'm pretty good at writing songs, so I'm gonna just show them that I can do that. And I just wrote "Hit the Piñata" as like a bonus thing for the test. And
yeah, because there were like 2 different versions of the pilot. It was like the actual pilot, and then they revisited the pilot and like reanimated it and all of that stuff. And like I really thought that "Hit the Piñata" was a great rendition. And the first remix that I've ever seen of "Hit the Piñata" was by SB299, I think. He's like a YouTuber who animates, and it was mainly just a loop. And I didn't like, when I watched that, I didn't look at it as I didn't look at it as, oh, I can do better than that. But I just like, like I put my own flavor on it, and like because I'm really into like moombatone and like these islandish reggaeton like
Yeah.
genres. So like I like this that moombatone is basically like a combination of like reggaeton and dance music and electronic music. So I listened to it, heard the rap, and like heard the like bongo drums and stuff in the background. I'm like, this could like should really flip this into a moombatone track, and then
Yeah.
like Ajett did it. So
Yeah, I really enjoyed your version, man. It was lots of fun. Like, really, it starts off kind of like, oh yeah, this is nice, and then suddenly it goes into this crazy, like, dark, noisy kind of stuff, but it's still really groovy. I liked it.
thank you.
Have you listened to much electro cumbia?
Electric who?
Electro cumbia. It's another style of music.
I have not. That's actually pretty new to me. I know the UK was like pretty much the golden brick road of like EDM.
Yeah, this style is from like Latin America, and one of my friends here produces it, called Panther, and it's like, I think you might like it. It's kind of like quite slow. It's like the slower end of dance music, but it's got a real nice kind of the rhythms and stuff are all very similar to like reggaeton and stuff like that. But yeah, check it out. It's interesting stuff.
I most certainly will. I can't really say where did your name come from because you were born with that name.
Yeah, I don't actually know where my surname's from. We've tried to figure it out, but it's mysterious. It's an unusual name. So I can't answer. Sorry.
I can ask another viewer question because like I don't really know how much you follow with like Cartoon Network itself, but this one is from Isaiah Wong, and he says, I like Clarence, but all I see in Cartoon Network is Teen Titans Go. What's your opinion on Cartoon Network scheduling and neglect of its other shows?
Yeah, I don't actually have Cartoon Network, so so I don't know how they schedule things. I just make the music and then I'm done with it.
Yeah, I was afraid of like maybe he doesn't really follow the show itself. He just makes the music for it. But
yeah,
what Isaiah's referring to is Teen Titans Go basically runs Cartoon Network, and there are sometimes weeks where it takes up 50% of the slot time. Like it'll be 159 episodes of Teen Titans Go per week, and it'll only be like 4 or 5 episodes of Clarence a week, or like 1 episode of Steven Universe a week. So like there's definitely an issue with like the Cartoon Network's fan base going on with like the oversaturation of Teen Titans Go.
Right, there's not enough balance there for you guys with what other programs are on.
Yeah, and like for me and Brian, since like we talk about is cartoons, like we've feared that it may affect how what happens to these other shows. Like, are they gonna get canceled because they don't get enough views in, or like is it just like are they just gonna keep it alive? But like when I see the new episodes of Clarence come out, then I kind of have hope for it, you know.
Yeah, well, if I had my way, it would be 100% Clarence all day, every day. Yeah, I don't have anything to do with that side of things, and I don't really know what happens. I just have fun making music, and that's fine with me.
Okay, let me ask another. My phone went off, so I couldn't see the questions. Question number 7 is: do you have any bigger goals in regards to how far you want to go with your music?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. At the moment, I have bigger goals in terms of I do like filmmaking stuff as well. So at the moment, my bigger goals are like to create a show, have my own show, and that will be like quite music based. So I'm just at the moment like figuring out how that would be, what's the format of it. So it would be like a show that I can make music for, but also kind of write and decide what happens in it. So this is my bigger goal, but it will take me a while to get there.
Yeah, like I feel like Cartoon Network definitely needs a show like that again,
Mm-hmm.
because a while back, around like 2005, there was a show called Class of 3000. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah.
yeah, and it was about like it was Andre 3000 show from Outkast, and
Oh cool.
he was basically a music teacher. In every episode, it was like a musical episode, and they went on these adventures through music, and it was very urban and kind of pro black in a way, but
Mm-hmm.
it eventually got canceled due to the fact that like apparently one of the members of Outkast, so like sued Andre for the show,
Oh
and
no.
like the show became so expensive, like $6 million worth, that Cartoon Network couldn't run it anymore, especially
Right.
after the lawsuit.
Yeah, yeah. So, are you saying that I should be the new Andre 3000?
I mean, if you want to, if you want to take it as that, then be my guest. Like, I'm like, because I do really feel like there aren't enough musically influenced shows around.
Yeah.
Like, just shows that happen to have music in them. But we definitely need a show that's like mainly, like, strictly about music. You know?
Yeah, I think it would be really fun. It does seem like that one comes along every like 5 years or something, and then and there's not many of them. But I really think that it could be a really fun. People love music so much and watching entertainment, so it stands to reason that they should go hand in hand.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll see. Watch this space. I'm gonna see what happens.
Question number 8 is, aside from working for
Hey,
Clarence.
before we move on, was that the Andre 3000 one? Was that animated? or
Yes.
live action.
Yeah, it was on.
Animated.
It was cartoon. It was an animation.
Mhm. And it's called Class of 3000, was it?
Yes.
I'm gonna have a look.
Question number 8 is, what is, aside from working for Clarence, what is like the current highlight of your career?
I mean, I think Clarence has been like the biggest thing for me in my career so far. Like having that chance to write music for a cartoon show that's like played all around the world. It's just crazy, and I keep seeing like examples of remixes or things that in different countries, in every country that Clarence has played in, they overdub all of not just like all of the dialogue, but they overdub the songs that I write as well in excuse me, in different languages. So like I see songs that I've written being played in totally different countries with different people singing my songs, and it's like completely mind blowing. So I don't know how to top Clarence. Like it's definitely the highest point in my career so far, but it does seem to be opening up a lot of new avenues for me in terms of like scoring other cartoons and stuff like that, other animations or short films. So we'll see where it goes, but I'm really having a good time.
This is a little personal bonus question, because like I know you really liked my remix, but there are also like the issue of like people illegally downloading music, because like especially with Steven Universe, because there are remixes on top of remixes for Steven Universe, and like it's like there's nowhere to actually like legally buy the music until this album that the SU fandom has been requesting for like since the first season comes out. But like what is your instant like input on like people actually remixing your music, like if there has been any more aside from mine?
Yeah. So like in terms of Cartoon Network, I think that they don't. I mean, legally it's probably not okay, but in terms of how I feel about it, I am really happy because I like people sharing the things that I make and playing with it. I couldn't talk for Cartoon Network because they probably have a different view, and you know it's all like copyright and stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm really like overjoyed every time I see people engaging with something that I've made and something that they like. But I'm just wary of like condoning it because I don't think it's legal. So it's a bit of a cautious answer there. But in terms of whatever other music that I make, please go nuts, and make your own versions. But in terms of stuff I do for Cartoon Network, be careful. Be careful, everyone.
Yeah, like
is that okay? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Like, I understand if like it's all been legally bought, and that's like that will give you the gateway to remix it. But like then there are instances where like you gotta like rip it off of YouTube, rip it off of something. Like I'm not gonna lie, I ripped Hit the Pinata off on YouTube because I couldn't buy it anywhere, and if I could, I totally would, but I couldn't. And and like there are
so everything I make for Cartoon Network is like completely owned by them, because they need it to be that way so they can just like send it all around the world and do whatever they need to do with it. But I would love it if the music that I made was able to be bought and released, because it's great. Like I think it would be amazing if people could have access to it. So maybe one day.
Yeah, I wish that Cartoon Network was more like lenient to like creating albums and stuff, because like Class of 3000 for season 1 they had an album, and like it was like that's how much demand for the music the show like it had when it came to that show. And you can see how much hype for a Steven Universe album has come, like is like, because everyone wants to hear music from Steven Universe, even though Ivy and Sarashu put it up on their SoundCloud on their daily. They don't have like a link, they can't let people download it because Cartoon Network owns it. And even like the creator of like, this even goes back to like the 90s, because even the creator of like Courage the Cowardly Dog, he said that he was going to release a soundtrack for the like the music in Courage the Cowardly Dog, because some of that was pretty good in itself. So like I do feel like there is a big demand for more soundtracks, because like if they did manage to put a soundtrack out, that would just be more money in Cartoon Network's pocket, you know?
Yeah, I do find it slightly bewildering, because it's not like there's any manufacturing costs now, because you don't have to make CDs. It's just like, just put it on iTunes and it's there.
Or you can just put it on vinyl and the hipsters will go all over it.
Oh man, Hit the Pinata on vinyl, that would be a dream come true. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I don't see why it isn't happening, because it just seems like a good extra revenue stream. But I have no idea, like behind the scenes there might be loads of extra legal hassle or something like that just isn't worth their while. So who knows?
Saying Cartoon Network, if you're watching this, get on it. But question number 9. This, like, we kind of joked about this one when I sent you the questions beforehand. Dove, like your Dove choice and favorite VSTs.
Yeah. So, I was saying I won't tell you my secrets. No, so I use it like exclusively Ableton Live, because I've been using that for nearly, well, actually for 10 years. So it's kind of like I just know my way around it really well. And it's just, I find it just so easy to use. It's very fluid for my kind of working style. It's a little bit tricky with like working to video, because I need to obviously score Clarence, which is moving image. So it's not like totally designed for that compared to something like Pro Tools. So it has its limitations there, but for me, like the fact that I can use it so quickly is all good. And then I have to deliver it in Pro Tools, because that's kind of the standard for mixing. So yeah, Ableton Live has my recommendation. And VST wise, I mean, I've got like a bunch of different ones. I've got the whole kind of Native Instruments complete package. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, and like I notice you do a lot of analog stuff as well.
Yeah. So I do. I like using Native Instrument stuff. I really enjoy, for kind of weird sound effects and things like that, I use a lot of Sonic Charge plugins like Synplant and what's that one called? I forgot what it's called. They've got this there's one called Echo Bow, which is like really weird sort of echoes and reverbs, and this other one called Permutate. There it is, and that does weird re- really cool up like glitching and things like that. There's loads to play around with there. But then yeah, I use a lot of real instruments. I can play a bunch of real instruments live, and I try and do as much live stuff as I can because I think it makes things sound more human.
Shockingly enough, you are the first person. No, shockingly enough, you were the first person on my podcast to not say Serum is one of your favorites.
Really?
Yes, and because like
it might be because of the style of music, but I've never actually heard of Serum. What is it?
It's this like big like VST, I believe Xfer or Zephyr makes it. I forgot how to pronounce the name at the moment. But Splice had put it up for like this rent to own plan. It's mainly like big in the dubstep community, but I use it for a lot of other wonky stuff. And you can do a lot with it. Like you can pretty much like make your own wavetables. Like you can take a PNG image and then turn it into a wavetable. Like
wow.
Yeah, like that's how manipulative Serum can be. And like you can take wavetables from other VSTs and then put it there, and then like you can edit it and alter it and then turn it into its own synth.
Oh, that sounds cool.
But I did want to, like, since we're on like the topic of like musical equipment, like what is the machine that you use for your videos the majority of the time?
Like when I'm doing kind of improvised looping and stuff.
Yeah, the radio, like for your radio videos.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I bought this. It's called an OP1, and it's by Teenage Engineering, and it's like this. It's so much fun. It's this really compact synthesizer, hardware synthesizer, and it's like really thin and really like good metal. It feels really solid, and it's basically like it's this crazy synthesizer that I can't figure out what any of the knobs do. It's just like you just have to guess what's going on, and it makes these amazing sounds. And then it has drum sounds built into it, and then you can also sample through a microphone into the keyboard. And it's the size of like, I don't know what keyboard. It compares to, but yeah, it's tiny though. It's like, yeah, the size of a computer keyboard, just smaller. And it does all this amazing stuff. So I'm having lots of fun with that, and it has a built-in FM radio. So I've been having fun sampling live from the radio and making a track on the fly. And then I use this app called Loopy HD on my iPhone to do kind of loops on the fly. So check those out, and you can see I'm putting these videos on my YouTube channel, which is just Simon Panrucker.
Yeah, by the way, you can plug yourself as much as you want.
Thank you. I should have been doing it every answer.
But
like, check it out. OP1 Radio Jams on my channel.
I do feel like it's one of the best ways to like get into making music is to just touch stuff and just twist knobs and see what comes out, because like I don't think like there are like probably like 1 in every 10 music producer that when they first started making music they didn't read any type of manual. Like they just downloaded the DAW or like plugged in their analog and just started slaying away on like just trying to figure out what they could do with it themselves, rather than just like someone telling you what to do. But like at the same time, even I'll like go and look at tutorials on like how to make this sound or that sound, you know?
Yeah. I think like what's important for me and has been while I've been learning is just like the sense of play. So not worrying about breaking something. Whenever I get a new VST or a new sound toy or whatever, I just like to sit with it and just play around with it and see the extent of, you know, what happens if I move this knob all the way to here, even if I think it's a bad idea, and just being comfortable with like making things go wrong.
Yeah, like even
because that sometimes just leads to like an amazing sound.
Like even back in the day, like around like when I was in high school, still, that's how Deadmau5 like started like using all of his analog things. Like if you ever seen any of his videos using like his modulars and all of that stuff, like he has this big studio that is just like full of like knobs and lights, and it's just like it is like a producer's wet dream, you know?
Yeah.
Like and like to see like him like just showing people like openly like how he makes his stuff is like very like rewarding, you know, because like even he like when he's like messing around with the stuff, like he'll mess up from time to time, and like then to see him like because he's going on tour this year, to see him do all of this stuff live and to actually like make the music live and recreate the songs like his hits live is just like amazing. Then to see him like make his own visuals and design his own helmets and like the like his stage, like it's like so amazing to see someone be that level of independent.
Yeah, and having that insight into their kind of creative process and all the failures and successes, right?
Yeah. But this is my final question. What are some words to upcoming DJ producers or people who do what you do, which is like make music for shows? Like what are they like? What would you have to say for them when they have like doubts and struggles on like if like how can they get through this?
Yeah, I wonder. I think for me, the main reason for doing any of this is just from pure enjoyment. Like I love making music, and I would feel really sad if I wasn't doing it. So even though at times I might feel frustrated, or I might have felt frustrated, right now I'm lucky in that I'm getting paid to do it. But there were times where I was like, oh man, I'm not even making any money from doing this. But it's like, don't make money the important thing.
It's to be happy.
Yeah, just if you love making music, do that and make music and have fun with it. As soon as you start making it to make money, sorry, I think it becomes much harder to feel the joy from it. And that's the most important part. If you're having fun and enjoying what you're doing, I think other people will feel that. So I don't know, that's easy for me to say now because I'm making a living doing it, but it's definitely always been true. And even if I stopped making money doing it, I would still do it. So yeah, don't lose the joy, guys. Do it for fun. Keep the fun in your heart.
So like now, since like all of the questions are out of the way, because the majority of the questions from the viewers are like just stuff about the show itself. Like there's one where like, oh, will there ever be an episode of Clarence where Jeff misses feelings from Melissa? And it's just like, you don't know that. Like, yeah, but you definitely make the music for it. So I'd say like, what are aside from like Hit the Pinata, like what are some of your favorite like scenes that you've animated, or I mean not animated, like produced music for?
Yeah. Well, I just really love the ones where I get to write a song and there's a montage to it. It's just cool. I really enjoyed doing this one called the Dance of the Cockroach Fairy, and I did a kind of remix.
Oh, the remix of the Sugar Plum Fairy.
Yeah. So I enjoyed doing that one. I don't know, man. Like, there's been so many. I've made like hundreds of pieces of music for Clarence now. I can't remember all of them.
Yeah, I definitely like feel like my favorite one was Hit the Pinata, like my number one, and then I really loved a lot of the music for Mystery Girl because that's my all-time favorite episode.
Oh yeah.
Like I love the cinematic build-up where Clarence finally meets the girl in person, and like
I think that might have been Jim because that's another composer on the show, so we kind of share the work.
Yeah, like
it's a good team.
And like I like started listening to some of the music on SoundCloud, and like I loved the song where like it's like the lyrics are just talking about how Clarence is so depressed and he keeps calling and he won't get an answer. And like I just started laughing when I heard that. So,
yeah, I have lots of fun with the lyrics. I usually try and like make it sound like it's its own song, but often I'll try and like follow the visuals but talking in metaphors. So I don't know. So it's all tied in with what's happening on screen, but like through a kind of weird artistic filter of the writing style of whoever I'm mimicking or something like that. I don't know if that sentence made any sense.
I think I kind of get it.
Yeah. There's I made one for this episode. Like loads of the stuff that I write, no one will ever hear because it's just really quietly in the background. But I made one for, I can't remember, let me just check. I'm just checking on my SoundCloud. This one, yeah, it's from the classroom episodes, and this girl's playing a boombox under her hood, and I made this like parody of Jump by Criss Cross, which I don't know if you know that, it's quite an old tune.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, and then yeah, I like rewrote it to be all about mac and cheese. I don't know why, but it's all about visiting my gran, and she makes great mac and cheese. So that's one of my favorites as well. I like the lyrics.
Yeah, like there's definitely like a lot of stuff to choose from, most definitely. But if there's anything like you want to promote, please do as you wish. Also, please give Athemocracy a shout out, because like he's also like he's my Clarence buddy. So like, and plus he helped me.
What's his name?
Athemocracy, the guy who made the video.
The YouTube channel, right?
Or Brian Swan. I definitely like if he said your name. Like if you said his name, he'd freak out.
Here's a big shout out to Athemocracy. Did I say it right?
Yes, and Brian Swan.
Brian Swan. Yeah, Brian Swan.
Yeah, he's gonna freak out. But if there's anything you want to do, like promote the show or promote upcoming music, or
yeah, please keep tuning into Clarence. There's some wild stuff gonna happen in season 3 that I think is gonna be really exciting to watch. And yeah, loads of great music for you to enjoy. Check out my SoundCloud page, which is just Simon Panrucker. You can hear all the Clarence stuff I make and any new things that I put out. I'm having loads of fun on my YouTube channel at the moment. I really want more subscribers, obviously, because everyone does. But I'm doing like a weekly live stream where I'm just hanging out on there and improvising songs with my looping equipment. So come and hang out with me, because I'm just kind of talking with you and then getting suggestions from people who are watching, and then I make a song up on the fly. So if you want to come and see me make some music right in front of your eyes, come and join my YouTube channel and have fun with me.
Well, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I felt
it's
awkward because I didn't know if I had said enough stuff, but I think it's fine.
Well, guys, this has been another episode of the Ajett Conversation featuring Simon Panrucker. Be sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, because once again, YouTube algorithm is screwing up once again. This is Ajett and Simon Panrucker signing out.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ajett.